Joining me first on the show is Mohibul Hassan Chaudhary, former education minister in Sheikh Hasina's cabinet. Mr. Chaudhary, appreciate your time. The Yunus government continues to downplay the lynching of Hindus, even as outrage mounts across the subcontinent. You have seen several influencers speak about it. Do you believe, Mr. Chaudhary, that this reflects administrative weakness, or is it political indifference towards minority safety in Bangladesh?
It's neither, not just administrative weakness or political indifference. It is actually instigated by the ruling regime there. So it is the same administration that we were in charge of for 15 years, and we have kept the country stable. Law and order was in proper condition. Minorities were safe. Not just the minorities, the majorities also lived in harmony with the minorities, and terror network inside Bangladesh was non-existent. Since taking over the charge of the state illegally, Yunus regime had been categorically attacking India for no reason. And in order to instigate local communal forces, they were complaining about India for absolutely absurd reasons, starting from flood to food prices and anything that happens within the country. His advisors, his ministers go out there in the public podium and start complaining about India. And it's not just that in the last couple of days, we've seen two horrific deaths. He had imprisoned from my constituency a prominent Hindu priest, Chinmoy Mahaprabhu, just because he was part of ISKCON and he called for protection of Sanatan followers in the country. And just because of that, he had been in prison for the last 14 months without any trial, without any bail, and he's an ailing person in the prison. So Yunus regime wants to stoke this communal riot. I mean, they have tried several times with the help of other extremist elements to stoke communal riot in the country. They failed because people, by and large, did not take part in large-scale violence. But these are target killings, I would say. They are being instigated by his ministers.
Okay.
Unless we see an end of this criminal regime, I do not see any peace coming in the coming days.
So you are saying that this is instigation by the current government in Bangladesh. So what really will be the solution? And why do you think this entire anti-Hindu narrative being peddled by, allegedly, as you say, by Muhammad Yunus's government?
Because he has failed domestically completely. The law and order situation is totally out of control. The country is in anarchy. Inflation is high. Job loss is at its highest level. So he's looking for scapegoats. And he's constantly blaming India. And some of the demagogues that he had been patronizing were saying that Awami League activists, the Sanatan followers, Hindu people inside the country, are agents of India. So that is how he's portraying us. Hundreds of thousands of our activists, Hindu, Muslim, including, they're all in the prison. So he's targeting all kinds of minorities. Also in the hill region, the ethnic minorities are under attack. Even the liberal Muslims, the shrines have been desecrated. So the guy just wants a scapegoat. Even to the international media, he went out there and complained that apparently India is portraying him as a Taliban leader, which India has never done. I mean, not to our knowledge, of course, or to the public's knowledge. But the man is putting the country in complete chaos.
Okay, so he is trying to look for a scapegoat, and that potential scapegoat appears to be India at the moment. Mr. Chaudhary, before I let you go, how do you view and how does your party view Tariq Rehman's return narrative? His speech that he gave, in which he famously said, I have a plan, especially when many in Bangladesh are fearing it could reopen deep fault lines which have been left behind after Sheikh Hasina's ouster.
Well, it is still somewhat of a political move in a sense that as his party is allowed to be active in the country, he was allowed to hold a large procession, and it is in a one-sided manner. They are given full political space by the Yunus regime. We would say it is just continuation of what was going on. There is some indication that they will be sort of dragged into mainstream politics and election. So it is going to be a one-sided election. But even if it is so, it is somewhat of a political transition. A political government in place still takes away these radical extreme elements from the political scene. So, but then again, how can you trust a man who 17 years back was involved in assisting militants, separatists from India and arming them and causing all kinds of trouble for Indian Northeast to the rest of India? So how, I mean, what is his plan? No one knows. We only hope that his plan is to bring some kind of a reconciliation. He had been patronizing militant elements within the country.
Okay.
He, with his assistance and instruction, grenades were charged against our leader Sheikh Hasina in the past.
All right, Mr. Chaudhary, I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us here on India Today.